Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your friendly neighborhood Coach Pruitt here with you once again with our daily YouTube video. First one in a while, first one in the post-spring break world. So let me start by saying, hope you guys had a fantastic spring break. I hope you enjoyed your time off, that you got some good rest, relaxation, continued to be safe in whatever activities that you were doing. Hopefully you remembered nothing good happens after midnight. But now we are in the post-spring break world, and we have a solid 7. We have 8 weeks of school left, technically until the end of the year. So we are getting ever closer. Every single day gets us closer to the end. Every class period is one less that we have to get through until June the 4th. But that being said, we are still in school until June the 4th, so we do still have a long stretch of classes left. So we will continue on finishing up our unit that we were pausing before spring break. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk a little bit about our post-spring break world and what our pre-EOC is going to look like. So the next 1, 2, 3 weeks of school, give or take, what we're going to be doing and how we're going to set it up. And then, again, with the EOC, there are questions, and I'll address those in just a second. So you can see on the screen here, this is our schedule for today. You can see we've got our essential question. What were the causes of the Great Depression? So before we left for the break, we had paused our unit. We had covered standards number 14, 15, and 16. We talked about America becoming an empire. We talked about World War I. And we talked about the post-World War I American culture, society, and all of the changes that occurred because of the Great War. We looked at things like the Red Scare, the Harlem Renaissance, the invention of new technologies, etc. Today we're looking at how all of that kind of comes to a crashing halt in 1929, 1930, talking about a 8 to 10 year, decade-long stretch called the Great Depression. So what we want to figure out today is, what were the causes of the Great Depression? How did these things all contribute to the collapse of the American economy? And what was their historical significance? You can see we have our daily schedule here. So we'll complete a taskwork activity over the Great Depression. We'll also complete a taskwork activity over some of the information from Standard 16 to recap and Standard 17, what we're covering today. A couple of important announcements. Number one is that the U.S. history, our EOC, is scheduled for May the 10th through the 14th. That is 4 weeks away, give or take. So 5 weeks away. 5 weeks away. We've still got a while. Now, we need to begin our preparations and our studying and our going over of content again for this EOC. And we'll begin that actually on Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday/Thursday. But the EOC is coming. I know that there are still a lot of questions about the EOC. Nobody has addressed the questions Mr. Burrows and I asked before the break. I just sent a second email today with a whole long list of questions because you guys know me and clearly I'm a planner. So we'll see if those things get answered and addressed as soon as Mr. Burrows and I know enough information to not be confusing and actually be helpful. We'll talk to you guys about the EOC. So we'll get there. Also a reminder that a class average of an 80 or above means that you exempt the final exam. That does not mean you exempt the EOC. It's the final exam. They're different. Maybe the most important thing on this list, at least for now, is unit number 6, taskwork. So the taskwork that we did before spring break and the 2 things that we're doing today in class are going to be due this Friday, that's the 16th of April, by midnight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one quick little announcement and one thing that you might actually be very happy to learn. This is your last taskwork packet. That's right, the last one. We'll make sure I mention this in class today, but due to the EOC, our preparations for the EOC, you're still going to have grades. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the last grade, but this is the last taskwork packet that you will have for the entire rest of the year. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Some of you are no doubt doing praises and backflips right now. You can see that there are a few videos that we're going to ask you guys to watch today as well. And these are on the YouTube Unit number 6 playlist. So, let's talk about what we're doing today. So remember, guys, if you go to Canvas and scroll down, first of all, remember in the Tools and Resources section, you have all of the things that you might need. You have your guided notes, you have the PowerPoint links, you have a link to the Unit number 6 playlist on YouTube, etc. So any resources you need, PowerPoints, I might have mentioned those already, but anyway, they're all here. Okay, so don't forget about the Tools and Resources section. We're going to go to the Unit number 6 module because we're going to be working there today. We're going to do 2 taskwork activities today in class. These should be the last 2 taskwork activities you have left for this unit. The first one you can see is at the very bottom. It's at the bottom of the module under Technology and Other, and it is just basically to list the causes of the Great Depression. That's all you got to do. So however you want to set it up, if you just want to do it as notes, if you want to do it as whatever, you're basically just going to create a list. It'll probably have 6 to 7 things on it, and these are the causes of things that led to the Great Depression. We'll be talking about these via notes and discussion today. You'll just record that information. That taskwork activity is done. Second taskwork activity you're going to complete on your own. You can see that there is an attachment. So if you click here where it says 16 and 17 worksheet, as always, up top there is a blue download button. You can download this to your computer, type on it, highlight it, do whatever you need. You can copy and paste this directly into a blank Microsoft Word or Google Doc, or you can simply record your answers on your own piece of paper or on your own blank Microsoft Word document. As long as you complete this activity and give us the answers, that's the most important thing. If you're going to just record your answers, guys, just be sure that you break it down into different sections. So like maybe where you get to standard, maybe, put standard 16, 1 through 10, 1 through 5, make sure you number things accordingly. But you can just give us the answers. You don't have to download this unless you want to. If you want to do it electronically, perfect. You can copy and paste this into, like I said, a blank document, or you can just record your answers in a blank Microsoft Word or Google Doc or on your own piece of paper. So basically it'll be a reminder about Standard 16, the standard that we finished right before spring break. So 1920s, American culture, all those changes. There's a matching section. There's a short response section. Guys, short responses, be sure you read the instructions, answer the questions as thoroughly as possible. It's going to take you more than a sentence to do that. And then some multiple choice questions here. Standard 17, same thing, matching section, short responses, multiple choice questions. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do, and this is the last taskwork activity that we have. So I'll have a video for you guys on Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even on Friday, but I'll cover all the taskwork activities. This will be your last packet of taskwork, and it will be due by this Friday, 4/16 at midnight. So again, today in class, just a reminder also, unit number 6 playlist. There are 4 videos here at the bottom. Definitely want you guys to watch the crash course video. It's the first 5.5 minutes of that. There are these other short videos. They're both around 5 minutes, give or take, about the causes of the Great Depression. And then one of the things that happens is something called a run on banks, which is where people went and took all of their hard cash, their actual money, out of banks. If you've ever seen the Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, maybe you haven't seen it, I don't know. But there's a scene in that where there's a run on the bank and the Great Depression beginning. So if you want to check that out and kind of see in general what it might have been like when this run on the banks happened, you certainly can. It is a black and white movie, but I know you guys probably hate black and white movies, so I did find the remastered color version of it, just in case you want to watch it. Again, not mandatory. Only one that we're going to say is mandatory is the Great Depression Crash Course video, and it's the first 5.5 minutes. So that'll be it for today. Pretty easy day, pretty easy transition back into school. Again, guys, make sure you check your grades. I didn't get a lot of work over the break, which is okay. We gave you guys a list of stuff before the break. Anybody who had below a 70 average got a printout of their actual grade report and what Infinite Campus looks like. Anyone who had above a 70 got a list of any specific missing assignments that they could do or any tests they could make up. Again, if you need those, you can always send us an email, send us a remind message. If you have questions, concerns, need some help. Guys, we still have plenty of time. We got 8 more weeks of school left. Let's try and get your grade at least to a 70, because then you pass the class. And also then let's try to get to an 80 so we can exempt that final exam. But that'll be it for today. We love you guys. Take care. And we will see you in class next time.